Hey YouTube, and thank you for watching Junkworks DIY Garage. Well, I'm under my truck here, and by the looks of this right here, and I could be wrong, it's just a few things that I've heard and read, that because I have this pan or this skid plate here, this is a Z71 package, but I don't know, because I don't think my rear end is posi in this thing, but I could be wrong. I just can't tell. It's not acting like one. But anyway, that's beside the point. And I'm working on my rear end as well, doing the same thing, and doing the pinion sill on it as well. So go check out those videos if you're needing to do that. I'm also hoping that I'm going to be able to get to the transmission and transfer case before we take off here down the road, and we will see on that. But as you can see, this thing is leaking like a sieve. But regardless, we are here right now, and I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I don't think you need to take this off to do a fluid change in one of these if you have this on here. But for filming, it'll make it easier, and there's only 4 bolts, and hopefully they won't be too difficult to get off. We'll see if my impact little gun will do it. Nope, it won't. See, I got my 1/2 inch with a extension on it, and a 15mm socket is what these are. I'm gonna see if I can do this. If I can, yeah, that came loose pretty easy. Ew. Right. So first thing I'm going to do is get up underneath here, put my pan underneath it, and clean it up some. And I don't want to get my camera all dirty doing that, so I'm going to do that off camera. But we got a 15mm up here. This is the fill hole. Like you'll hear most of the time in all these videos, you always want to make sure that comes loose. So it's better to have bad oil than no oil at all kind of situation. So we're gonna make sure that'll come loose, which it has. Not to mention, you don't hear it a lot, but this will also allow air to come in on top of the fluid, allowing it to hopefully drain a little better as well. And that's somewhat of a good sign. I actually see a little bit of oil on the plug here, but who knows. Now the weird thing is that's a 15, but the drain plug is a 13mm. So that is where we're going down here for this. And on there. Oh wow, somebody reefed this thing down. Okay. Alright, I got a bucket down here below. And by the way, this is the driver's side or left-hand side of the car as you're sitting in it. And that is the front of the car right there, going that direction. Hopefully you were able to see that. So let's see how nasty this is probably going to be. It looked kind of gray on the plug. Not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. Wow, that almost looks fresh, which worries me because I think I did kind of top these off not that long ago. Honestly, I can't remember if I did it on video or not. I said this in the rear end one. Now, it didn't look that bad either, but it didn't have a lot of fluid in it. I don't know how much fluid's supposed to be in these things, but we're gonna let that just go. I actually have the back of the truck jacked up a little bit here, working on the rear end, so that's actually kind of a good idea. But you need to be, you're responsible for your own safety. You do anything I do, including put fluid in this thing that I would say that I'm putting in this, I'm not responsible if it's not the right fluid. You need to do your own research. Here we are right now, and you'll see a plethora, I always wanted to use that word, of fluids in front of you. Now here's the deal. This is what I'm going to use in the back end, or what I will have already used in the back end, depending on when my videos come out, but so far it's not done. But regardless, I have this SuperTech full synthetic gear lube SAE 75W140. Now, I couldn't get that right now anymore at my local Walmart. It's a heck of a lot cheaper, but I couldn't get enough to finish off the job here. So then on good old Amazon, I found this fairly budget version of the same thing, 75/140 gear oil. As well as this front end is leaking like a sieve. I don't have time nor the want to fix it right now. So we're going to test out some of this bars leak axle and differential gear repair. And it says it should fix the whole thing and everything will be great from here on out. Now it doesn't say that, but it says it is compatible with all this stuff. That it should fix a bunch of the pinion axle and other seal leaks, reduce grinding, wearing, clunking, and protects gears. So there you go. It's bars leak. I've used it in radiator several times with great success, so we'll see how it works here. I didn't even know you could get this stuff, to be honest. I was just kind of looking around to see, because it is leaking so bad, and found this online. Got that off Amazon as well. I will put prices of all them below if I can find them. And I got another one of these back here because I think it's going to take at least 3. But anyhow, this is the difference though. This is what commonly seems to be accepted in trucks like mine that are a little bit older than when they actually started using this stuff in the trucks, because this is a 98. But in the book here, it says differential lubricant. I don't know if you can actually see it, but it says API 80W-90 GL-5 gear lubricant. I believe the GL-5 thing is because this has limited slip stuff in it. Regardless of that, from the information I have checked on, so you need to do your own research. You need to do your own research. But from my research, this seems to be an acceptable choice. Now, as far as interchanging these two here, they both say they will work with other fluids, that you don't need to change it completely out and blah blah blah. I guess we'll test that one out as well, but I'm not going to go buy more when I already have this. And so that's what I'm going to do. So, and I also picked that up off Amazon. If I can find a price, I'll put it down below. I actually bought it a long time ago when I anticipated needing to do some of this stuff and then didn't get to it. So we got our bolt here. There does not appear to be any kind of a sealant or gasket or anything of that sort on here. So I'm going to take and just make sure everything's clean real quick here and stick that back in and hope for the best. I guess if I see a leak somewhere, I can hopefully get most of this out, put it in clean bottles and reuse it. Let's see, what size is this one? Not that. And you do not have to reef on these things. 13. Kind of thinking this might be a 1/2 inch instead of a 13, but I'm not reefing on it like I said. And that's good. Now we're going to take our bottle, which I will say, as far as the Syntec one, this little pump thing actually does not fit in there very well. So hopefully it will be able to pump. Well, I probably need to prime it. There we go. Alright, so now we'll put that in there after priming it. I'm hoping you can see any of this. And we'll fill this up until it starts leaking out from the bottom of this. Now there's also different information on that saying you need to have it like 1/8 of an inch below, or I don't know, you have to figure that out for yourself. I'm good with just letting it come out the top a little bit. I'll let it run until it stops draining out, and we'll go from there. Well, hopefully you saw that. I will show you what I used. I'm going to let that drip for a while and put the cap back in. Yet again, you're responsible for your torque specs. You need to figure out how comfortable you are torquing these things down. And if you're not comfortable doing it yourself, then find a book or look on Google or something like that. I'm sure it's everywhere out there. Problem with that is half the information is probably wrong. Well, first thing I will say to learn from me, I should have started with one of these and I would have went from that to the leak stuff and finished with that. But unfortunately I started with that, went to the leak stuff and finished with that. I did not need to use this one. This one is almost gone. It's right down at the bottom down here. So you will, at least in my case, when I completely emptied it, it took almost 2 of those and a whole one of those to get her filled up. So I got a spare still, but that's alright. If I need to use that in the rear end, I can, because I'm combining them here. Yet again, I'm comfortable combining things. You need to choose for yourself. Now it's just a matter, I need to clean the skid plate up, throw that back on there. I don't think you guys need to watch that. That should be a pretty good interpretation of how to change the fluids in the front end of your Chevy or GMC. This looks very similar to my Astro van as well. So I think the front ends in these are pretty well across the board, fairly similar anyways. But anyhow, hopefully several people will get something out of this. Thanks for watching Junkworks DIY Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.